We're still 6 strong at the Poker Dome on their run towards $25,000. South Bend, Indiana is the home of the Fighting Irish from Notre Dame. It's also where Mitch Korn comes from, and so far, he's been golden, 85,000 in chips. And we've been 7 hands in so far. Each and every one has seen a raise pre-flop, Michael. That's interesting.
They've been watching the Poker Dome, and they realize that pays dividends. You know, sitting around and getting dealt beautiful cards is great, but unless you get like an ace-queen like that, you got to take matters into your own hands.
Jared Mueller, looking strong pre-flop. Gets a call from Boston Rob. To the flop. 2-handed. Ace. Nice for Mueller. Deuce. 7. Mariano catches his 7. Mueller checking that to pair of aces.
4,000.
That's a pretty good defensive bet there. You know, when you've got a king and an ace flops, you can't like your hand very much, so Boston Rob is making a little stab at the pot, seeing if his opponent is interested, and I think he'll give it up here.
So the 5 of hearts on the turn. Both players check it. Deuce on the river. Heart rate's bouncing. Jared Mueller betting his top pair of aces. Rob contemplating with 5 seconds. He'll release that hand, so it's Jared Mueller, the 22-year-old out of Phoenix, Arizona, snatching a pot. He calls his poker style aggressive at times, but usually pretty conservative. And if you live in the Phoenix area, you might have seen this guy right on your front doorstep.
Currently, I'm a pizza delivery man. I was doing a delivery like normal. I went up to a house, and the lady opened the door completely naked, and she was wasted and drunk, and she did give me a good tip, though. If I won, yeah, I would keep my job. I like the communication with people up front. I just enjoy what I do.
And he says that he's just an average guy trying to get by with an average job. But that didn't sound like the average customer.
Jared Mueller tells us that he's learned in his 4 years of poker that you've got to be able to bluff hard. He says, I'm a conservative player, but when I need to bluff, I can bluff hard.
So we may see Rob and Mueller going head-to-head again. Mariano with the pocket 5s. We go 4-way to the flop, a 6, a 10, and a deuce.
Mueller has picked up a big flush draw and the overcards. That's the kind of hand he can play pretty confidently, even though he hasn't connected on the flop.
Mueller on a draw bets his king, queen of hearts. Mariano having to think it over with his pair of 5s. He folds. As does Dano.
And Leyburn will have to fold here as well. This was actually our first unraised pot of the night, and it paid off for the pizza man.
He delivers the goods again. A couple of back-to-back pots for young Jared Mueller. The leader tonight still Mitch Korn, over 80,000 in chips. That's him right there. After a hot start, grabbing a couple of major pots, Korn chilling.
Another unraised pot.
4-way to the flop, ace, 9 of spades, 3 of clubs.
Delanois has the best hand, John, but with that ace out there, he's got to be careful. He can't fall in love with his hand. He doesn't know that none of his opponents has an ace. And Mueller, with absolutely nothing, representing the power, and I think it's going to work.
Being the aggressor.
Gets Delanois to fold the best hand.
Gets everybody to fold. Jared Mueller starting to slowly build his stack, picking up a few hands here, adding to his chip count. Still 6 players alive. The ultimate goal here, $1 million in the Pokerdome. Tonight's winner will be rewarded with a sweet $25,000. A couple of aces out, pre-flop. We go 4-way to the flop. 8, 9, and a 9. Huge for the young Jared Mueller.
He calmly checks it around, hoping somebody will bet at this pot, and it looks like Rob Mariano is going to oblige.
He's betting into a monster here, as is Dano. You're thinking, nice action.
Checks the cards again, makes sure that 9 is still there.
Yeah, he's playing it up a little bit, saying, is this worth me staying here? Makes the call.
Looks like he actually raised, John.
He bumps it up.
And this should get Mariano to fold.
You have something good?
Well, unless this kid has a 9, I probably have the best hand with the ace kicker. He could be on a straight draw, he could be on a flush draw. And look, that's all the chips Sandra Dano has remaining.
She wisely lets it go. So it's Jared Mueller, the pizza delivery guy, serving it up hot and tasty tonight, making his moves. We continue the action tonight from the ManchinPoker.com. Pokerdome Challenge. Stick around.